name is Bonnell St. Rose, your host for Restoring the Pride, a series of programs produced by the Pitons Management Area Office. The PMA Office and the Department of Sustainable Development invite you to journey with us through the month of February as we rediscover our pride and recommit to restoring the pride of the Pitons Management Area as a World Heritage Site. Our nation of twin peaks of excellence in the persons of Nobel laureates Sir Arthur Lewis and Derek Walcott must now muster the collective resolve to safeguard the integrity of our twin peaks of excellence, Go and PT Pitons. As a young Suferian and St. Lucian, I have seen the need to be part of that commitment. I have taken up the responsibility to do something as we work along with government and other interested stakeholders in safeguarding the integrity of the PMA as a World Heritage Site. It is my distinct pleasure, and with the authority of Yokawu and Atibera, Go and PT Pitons, the god and goddess of fertility, that I introduce Dr. Honorable Gail Rigobert to address us and to officially declare February as the month of restoring the pride.
On June 30th, 2004, in Suzhou, China, the Pitons Management Area, PMA, was inscribed on the list of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Our small nation was bestowed the glory and esteem of international recognition and acclaim. Indeed, the eyes of the world have been fixed on this small isle before. We have, on occasions, basked in the limelight of global recognition, whether it is through the achievements of our sports personalities like Darren Sammy and Laverne Spencer, the prestigious award as world leading honeymoon destination for a record 11 years, and of course, the special honor of boasting our twin peaks of excellence in our two Nobel laureates, Sir Arthur Lewis and Honorable Derek Walcott. All of these achievements, along with the PMA World Heritage status, was celebrated and embraced by our nation in a consensual expression of appreciation and love. The attainment of World Heritage status, although welcomed, came with special and peculiar responsibilities, that of managing and maintaining the integrity of a site recognized for its outstanding universal value for and on behalf of humanity. This would be a responsibility to be upheld in perpetuity. Indeed, the accolade and acclaim of World Heritage status carried with it special management responsibilities as set out under the World Heritage Convention. St. Lucia became a signatory to the World Heritage Convention on 14th October 1991. The St. Lucia World Heritage Committee was established 6 years later in furtherance of Cabinet Conclusion number 1931 of 19th December 1996. We must salute the outstanding and selfless work undertaken by the committed team of individuals who over a period of 6 years contributed to the nomination dossier which successfully secured World Heritage inscription for the PMA in 2004. The Pitons Management Area from the onset was faced with onerous challenges. These challenges, when taken in context of a small island developing state, made the task of managing such a site a steady uphill climb. The availability of financial resources, which would inevitably be required to execute the required programs and activities for effective management of the site, remain a significant drawback. As a small island developing state, the existence of the PMA, comprising 2,909 hectares, just short of 5% of our total landmass, presented its own challenges in terms of the reality of competing interests for limited available lands. In a global context, the site was considered relatively small. It was not the typical conservation site with dedicated expanses of wilderness. The site, in terms of its makeup, has its own complexities. It should be understood that it is a multiple-use site with traditional uses and existing economic activities. So the site has always been faced with development challenges which require a delicate balance of managing and presenting complexities in a manner that upholds the integrity of World Heritage. In fact, the site was inscribed with full awareness of these realities. As a government and people, we must find a working medium to pursue this unenviable task of safeguarding the integrity of the site while maximizing its full potential for the advancement of our people and country. This is a challenge which must be properly articulated and understood. We must make the case that our limitations as a small island developing state places on us certain pressures which are at times daunting. But make no mistake, we understand the precepts of sustainability. We are committed to upholding excellence. This is why we have signed onto conventions like the Kyoto Protocols and our recent ratification of the Escazú Agreement in December of 2020. The PMA has been faced with ongoing controversy over its more than 17 years in existence, much of it having to do with the dichotomy and delicate balance which we have highlighted above. In many ways, we must move to translate what for many is the abstract status of World Heritage into a language of comprehension to the wider public. We must express clear and equitable benefits and commit to active engagement with stakeholders. After 17 years, there is a need now for clear government policy with respect to the PMA and World Heritage. Our government has begun initial work towards shaping a policy which we hope to articulate in the very near future. The existence of such a policy may suggest the need for dedicated World Heritage legislation and regulations. The intention is to remain in active consultation with stakeholders and interested parties as we seek to formulate a pathway which reverts to the principles, management guidelines, and core values of the Pitons Charter. This effort will involve initiating and maintaining more active dialogue with the World Heritage Center and other international partners such as the IUCN and the Nature Conservancy. These agencies can, of course, assist in mobilizing necessary technical and financial resources to fulfill the task of sustainable management. Through the Restoring the Pride campaign, we are seeking to refocus the attention of the nation on the PMA and World Heritage. Through that focus, we can indeed rediscover ourselves as a people who can rise to the responsibility of a sustainable development approach. We envision a site in which there is equity, appreciation, pride, sustainability, and participation. The process of open engagement already underway through the PMA office will continue in the coming weeks and months as we seek to arrive at a collective commitment geared towards inculcating a new sense of pride, restoring the pride of the Pitons management area. Please join us during this month of activities as we refocus our commitment, rediscover ourselves as wise stewards, counseled by the traditions and way of life of our great-grandparents who passed these natural assets for optimal use and to the overall benefit of current and future generations. As we prepare to observe the 16th anniversary of the official inscription ceremony held on 14th February 2005 on Valentine's Day, we can no doubt evoke the infinity and love which capture our association with this part of us, which has become part of universal legacy of World Heritage. Let this be a month of reflection, a month of recommitment and resolve. Resolve to restore the pride of the PMA as a World Heritage Site. I thank you.
On June 30th, 2004, the Pitons management area was inscribed as a World Heritage Site during a meeting of the World Heritage Center in Suzhou, China. That development was greeted with grand celebrations in St. Lucia.
June 30th, 2004, the World Heritage Committee, meeting in China, announces to the world that the Pitons management area has been designated a World Heritage Site.
I was glad to know that I'm a citizen of Soufrière and it has been designated as World Heritage Site.
I think that is the best thing to happen to Soufrière because from a touristic point of view, it is going to bring more tourists in Soufrière. I'm certainly sure more tourists is going to come to Soufrière. And by more tourists coming to Soufrière, it will help the economy.
For me, it means a lot because being part of the World Heritage Site is one of the very good things, not only for St. Lucia, but for the town of Soufrière and the people of Soufrière.
Oh, that is going to bring some very exciting times to Soufrière. Not just in respect to finding better means and providing better management of our marine and terrestrial resources, especially the Piton area, but I think it also provides plenty of new opportunities for Soufriérians to better participate in the tourism products.
I'm really proud to be a St. Lucian, to have the only Pitons in the world right here on our island.
The feeling that we get approaching them is an unavoidable sense of splendor and a diminishing of our own unimportance compared to their majesty.
It was the Pitons that influenced Danson St. Thomas to really present our flag in the kind of triangular formation that it is presented.
There's not a painter who is not challenged by the idea of representing them, even if they appear to be a cliche. But the reality of seeing them, of wanting to paint them, is something I don't think any painter can resist for too long.
The song Rise Pitons Rise, written by Ronald Buhingson, was sung by Manchus Kazubo from Soufrière.
Rise, Piton, rise, rise to the occasion. Rise, Piton, rise, we share your recognition.
At this juncture, we challenge the nation to rediscover ourselves and commit to a collective resolve towards restoring the pride of the PMA. We now visit another Soufriérian, record holder of the title of Groovy Soca King, Arthur Ale, an accomplished music producer who has written and produced the music video we are about to premiere, Restoring the Pride.
Well, the town of Soufrière being my hometown where I spent most of my life, it really molded me as a person, to become who I am. I grew up, from humble beginnings, in a family of 7, my mother and father, 5 of us, and, I kind of lived most of my time there, and I never really had too much of an experience outside of Soufrière. So my environment kind of shaped me, and from my influence in sports, I'm a great cricket fan. Growing up playing cricket in just on the field or on the road bare feet, to just being in the town surrounded by all that beauty, the rivers, the beaches, it kind of gave me that sense of humility, in a sense, to come from that small town and everybody knows everybody, and that was a great part of my life. And I think it shows a lot into my music, my relationship with people as well. Soufrière is an amazing place. And I think I even got a greater appreciation for Soufrière when I actually moved out of Soufrière. And even like coming back, I'm down there every week. So, and it's amazing that whenever I reach to like Kachime and I see that first glance of the Pitons, it's like that sense of, like our drive, I'm finally in Soufrière, I'm back, I'm home safe. I don't have to worry about the 5 to 7 minutes it takes to get from Kachime to town. I feel like I'm already home, and it's almost majestic, that view too, it's an amazing feeling, and I'm happy, proud to be from Soufrière.
Me never seen a girl like you. You. I can't get enough of you. So deep.
I started music pretty much in school. Shout out to my music teacher, Mr. Favre. He was the one who kind of instilled in me the knack of, creating music, singing and all that. I remember my father too, he's very much a cultural activist, and he would always tell stories of the Amerindians and their love for the Pitons, Atabara, Ikau, OPL, the gods, and how they viewed, the Pitons as that spiritual, emblem. So I had that from young, and the music kind of lived in me. I grew up with a lot of musicians around me, not from my family directly. My father was into it, but not everybody really took music seriously. But my neighbors were actually the Matrix Band, which was a very popular band, and they had lost their vocalist in 2007, and they needed somebody to take up the mantle, and I was always around, and they would see me before performing at school, and they saw the way that I was able to handle a crowd, and they saw that potential in me, and they reached out to me. I left school and I was like, fresh artist, throw me into the spotlight with no experience, pretty much coming on stage in the north. I remember my first show at Peter Party, yeah, it was, and coming in Castries, scrawny looking fella, trying to whine and run around the stage, and people were looking at me like, who's Mitt?
I am a St. Lucian, no matter how far I go. Thank God that I am a St. Lucian, and I come from the land of sun.
But it started there. The dream started in Soufrière, and that sense of pride always stuck with me through my creation, and I was happy to create music that was actually. I've had so many patriotic songs. The biggest one, of course, is Who I Am, but I've done many others before, and that's because I've always had that sense of love for my town, my country, my people, and the people have always supported me, even through events like Groovy Monarch. That's one thing I always knew. Whenever I went out on stage, my Soufrière posse would be there to support me, full 100, and always giving me that encouragement to push through. When I was doing this song, when I was writing this song, I actually looked back. I went back to look at Selwina's song, and the Peter song she had many years ago. That was one of the songs I grew up in my childhood watching and being like, I want to be like these people on that video. And I remember seeing and it would play almost every time before news, and I would enjoy that. And it really became part of my journey. Selwina being somebody who always gave me guidance when I got into the music industry, and she's like family to me.
Talking about St. Lucia, we must identify. So powerful and majestic, twin Pitons standing high, symbolizing love and unity, and they boost our national pride. Our children must be proud indeed, Mother Nature never lied.
I'm happy to fall in those footsteps. Manchus, who's also a very good friend of mine, we keep in touch all the time. I went back to look at his Rise, Peter Rise, that was written by Bo Hinkson, and I took some little things from here and there from it to kind of, because it's the same message, same concept, but we just want to restore that same sense into our people. And I had a lot of fun doing it. I mean, the song, the lyrics, just it flew one time. It came to me nice and easy. I remember humming it first when I was driving. The melodies came to me. I got home, and in one day I actually wrote everything. Did everything one time in one day. Sent the draft out, and the team loved it. And thereafter, all I was left to do was the music video and to engineer it. And I'm happy with what we came up with.
And now for the world premiere of Restoring the Pride.
Rise, 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 Piton, rise. Something restoring the pride. It's yours and it's mine. Let's do this together. Preserve for the future. Restoring the pride. It's yours and it's mine. Let's do this together. Preserve for the future. Yeah, sweet Pitons, nothing like you. So iconic on this beautiful island. Yeah, we adore you, so we will protect you, so your beauty can be seen by all eyes. Yeah, rise up, high Pitons, rise. Rise up to the occasion. Let the whole world recognize your beauty, you're my sensation. Yeah, we are special people, so let's rediscover what the Pitons mean to you and me. Restoring the pride. It's yours and it's mine. Let's do this together. Preserve for the future. Restoring the pride. It's yours and it's mine. Let's do this together. Preserve for the future. Oh, we are so blessed to be loved by the rest. World Heritage status, it brings such pride to us. Let's not forget to keep safe from all threats. Pitons conservation is our vocation. Rise up, high Pitons, rise. Rise up to the occasion. Let the whole world recognize your beauty, you're my sensation. Yeah, we are special people, so let's rediscover what the Pitons mean to you and me. Restoring the pride. It's yours and it's mine. Let's do this together. Preserve for the future. Restoring the pride. It's yours and it's mine. Let's do this together. Preserve for the future. Yeah. Rise, rise, rise. Go Piton, rise, rise, rise. Piton, rise, rise, rise. Everybody, let's rise, rise. Oh yeah, yeah. Restoring the pride. It's yours and it's mine. Let's do this together. Preserve for the future. Restoring the pride. It's yours and it's mine. Let's do this together. Preserve for the future. Yeah.
St. Lucia, let's rediscover ourselves. Protect the Piton management area. Let's restore the pride of the PMA as the World Heritage Site.
Suferians and St. Lucians at home and abroad, please like and share the music video on all our social media platforms as we celebrate our creativity, resilience, and heritage. Today's trivia segment is brought to you by the management of Opoe Park and Windward and Leeward. Prizes include complimentary lunch for 2 at Opoe Park, 1 6-pack Piton Malta, and 1 6-pack Piton Bear. To win, tell us, what are the heights of Go and PT Pitons? Submit your answers to the PMA Office Facebook page under the related trivia flyer. Remember, you must like the page to qualify. Join us again for another program in our series Restoring the Pride. I am Benel St. Rose.